Hello, Andrew. What's up with Moo? Hi, everybody. This is Sam Ingersoll with Kalona SuperNatural's What's Up with Moo. This is our live stream show where we talk with fans of our products from wherever they are about whatever they're interested in. Today, my guest is Andrew Finch, who is from Texas and discovered us somewhere. Andrew, thanks for coming on the show today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
So, just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you are, what you do, what you're kind of into. I know you're probably into food since you clicked on our show. Give us a little background here.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm in a small city of Texas, Longview, Texas. That's where, if you heard of Neil McCoy, um,
Mm-hmm.
Forrest Whitaker, Matthew McConaughey, same city,
Sure.
small city in Texas. And I work for a coil company that make AC units. So I'm a brazier there. And so I found the product of looking for try to find more organic products and good whole food products. And I do like milk, but yeah, I know that milk was in the other milk in the stores was not real good to your stomach. And to probably a lot of people, what they call lactose intolerance. But I think it's how they pasteurize milk or whatever. So I tried the milk out. I found Kalona, I think I pronounced it right, in granary. And so I know that they carried our products, and I do know that we do got a Whole Food store here
Yep.
down here in Long Beach too, but a little bit cheaper at granary. And but I think they had a little bit more at the Whole Food store of y'all bread, and I see they have chocolate and other things. But anyway, I saw the milk and I saw how the good quality was since I half came off. I'm all from the country, the country area where we had chicken and
Mhm.
cows and drank real cow milk. And I could tell the way the milk y'all had, the way it was carried and formed and packaged, just like drinking real milk off the farm.
Now
With
you grew up
but
on a farm, didn't you?
well, yeah, we had enough land and property where we did have a garden and basically chickens and some cows and some areas where we own land. We have cows. So basically, yes, yes. Farm. I guess you say farmland in the country. You can do that.
What's your favorite memory of growing up on the farm? I grew up on the farm too. Now my kids are a little bit insulated from that.
Mhm.
Things have changed. They're on their phones and stuff a lot. What's your favorite memory of growing up on the farm?
I think being close to nature, in my opinion, is nature. You realize how much culture have changed when you out there. You don't all thing we had back then was probably Nintendo and something before technology goes. But when you're out there in the woods, we used to do a lot, hunting and travel, walking through the woods and enjoying the sun and cool breeze and things of that nature. But when you living on the land, around nature, you feel closer to nature.
Yeah.
I think that people mental health is better, less pollution. I just think it's the freedom of feeling free. You
Mhm.
know, when you're young, you grow up on land, feeling free and enjoying the sights of insects, able to fly a kite. Do things you can't do in the city areas. And
Yeah.
so I think, and then where the food quality is coming from. As you grow older, you realize that it's the country has its most definite nature has its place,
Yeah.
and the food quality makes a difference, man. It just difference, and then the energy is better. And I think people who like if you eat the food that's off the land itself, the quality and the taste of the food that you raise, where it come from, tastes different. Whether it's fruits, vegetables, any type of thing on a farm. So no, for people who won't think this, who take knock on farmland and stuff is stupid because life is nature. You don't get no food out the stores. It comes off the farm, whether they manufacture it or not, whether the quality is good or not. You need land and farmland in order to survive. You cannot have food. It's
Yep.
important.
Yeah. Of course, we keep our dairy products as natural as possible. The photo in the background of our screen here is a farm just right around the corner from my office. I go by there, stop by there all the time. It's David Miller's farm. It's on a video on our Instagram and Facebook account too. if you want to see the ins and outs of his farm. But yeah, a lot of people, they write in and they say, your milk, it reminds me of growing up in rural areas, growing up on the farm. Or we get a lot of people from Mexico or Eastern Europe and India that really like the milk because it's not high temp pasteurized. And it's non-homogenized. So the cream floats to the top. It tastes like real milk. It's got a more full mouth feel to it. Um, and it brings back a lot of memories. Reminds them of home. You know.
Yes, the milk in the stores, that store bought milk, I don't know what's pasteurized, what's sweet, wherever it is, but the aftertaste is nasty in the mouth. You don't have no dry aftertaste in your mouth when you drink the y'all brand of milk. And so, and then you try to find milk. Have drunk milk that say had A2 in it, but it still didn't taste the same. But y'all milk was right on point. You don't have, you can eat certain food, you had a nasty film or aftertaste in your mouth, or whatever the sugar content, whatever they got in the milk, and you don't have that indigestion, whatever type of problem you have. The y'all milk is like real milk. It's just like if you drink water, you don't have no side effects. But
Yeah.
and the y'all milk process and digest just like you would drink water.
Yep. Yeah. A lot of it starts on the farm. The farm you can see in the background is the cows graze on grass, as much as they can year round. And then usually through, if it's a little bit warmer, they'll be on pasture a lot longer than the organic standards require. So they'll be on from May, April to May through March through October, even as early as March sometimes through October, um, which is great. And then the field just over the fence there. That field this fall when I was out there, they were baling that up for the cows to eat during the winter. So they eat the same thing in the winter that they eat in the summer and spring and fall, just dried up, baled. And so it all starts there with, I think, the quality of the grass and the cows eating grass instead of a lot of grain. A lot of places feed their cows a lot of grain because it puts them in drought survival mode, cranks their system up to survive on seeds, on grain, which means they can produce a lot more milk a lot more faster. But it's not good for them to be constantly stressed out that way. And then once we get the milk, of course, we do as little as possible to it. We pasteurize it through a method that's called Vat Pasteurization, where we heat the milk up to about 150 degrees, 148 degrees for half an hour, very slowly. So it kills the bacteria that we're required to kill by law. There can be salmonella or other things in milk if you're not careful, if your farms aren't clean. And then we don't do anything else. We don't homogenize it. A lot of companies will take the cream and they'll smash it under about 2,800 pounds of pressure into millions of pieces, which disperses it through the milk. So if you cook the milk through like an ultra high temp pasteurization, which is at 280 degrees Fahrenheit, if you cook it, sterilize it, and then smash it, it just tastes different. It just feels different. And that's what a lot of people experience when, like you, they go and they buy something else and go, ugh, like this doesn't taste the way I remember it growing up on the farm.
Yeah, then like you said, you told me, like I last thought we spoke behind the scene. You said that when they do that at that temperature, it kills a lot of like vitamin, like a lot of good things that's in the milk that's good for the body, right?
Yep. A lot of people think the body has a harder time recognizing the fat particles when they're broken up, when the molecular structure is broken down, when the enzymes are broken up, or when just a lot of the good stuff is cooked out of it. Ultra high temp is not a new thing, but it's where more and more companies are going to. Again, it's 280 degrees Fahrenheit rather than 148, sort of the minimum required by law, which is where we're at. But when they do it that high, it sterilizes it so well they can ship it across country. A lot of times, ultra high temp products don't even need to be refrigerated, but they tried to do that in France and they found out nobody'd buy them. Like if you saw your milk, for organic milk, from another company sitting on a shelf without being refrigerated, it would raise some questions. And so they found people weren't buying it, so they started putting it back in the refrigerators. But then, of course, because it's so heavily pasteurized, they can ship it across country. So it could be, milked in Vermont, and then it could take 5 months to get across the country to California. It wouldn't matter, you could still buy it and it would still be, I'm not going to call it fresh, but it would still be unspoiled, let's say, unspoiled by any kind of thing that people think spoils milk. So more companies going that way. It's second for economic reasons. Longer shelf life means less spoils, means more money. But we've stayed true to sort of our core values, which is like our farmers, keeping it the way it has been traditionally, and the way nature intended it to be as much as possible.
Yeah, and I'm glad y'all did that. Now we'll talk about the chocolate milk as well.
Yeah,
You feel like y'all trying to find a substitute for the carraging that's in the milk.
Yeah, sure. Like, so if we have a bunch of different products. We have eggnog milk, chocolate milk, butter, cottage cheese, yogurt, French onion dip, sour cream, lots of great stuff. And with all of those, again, we try and we don't add, vitamin D. We have to add it to 2% milk. It's a federal government requirement. Pasteurization is a federal government requirement, so we have to meet those requirements. But other than that, we do as little as possible. So like for cottage cheese, we'll add Celtic sea salt, but typically no stabilizers or additives at all, except in our chocolate milk, which is we'll probably have another guest on in another week or so who is a chocolate milk rating fanatic. He loves chocolate milk. He rates chocolate milk, and he just discovered ours and thought it was amazing. And it's got this really thick, it's made with our milk. So it's got this really thick, creamy kind of taste. And it doesn't have, anything else in it, except we do have carrageenan in it, which people ask about. And I was, when I came to the company a few years ago, I was new here. And that's one of the first things I had from consumer was, why does that have carrageenan? And what that is it's leftover. Carrageenan is like a seaweed derivative that people use as a stabilizer. And I think what happened when we first, that was just what was in the original chocolate milk recipe. And then some people complained about it because of a study that was done. And then somebody put the study online, and a bunch of people had a negative reaction to it. So we tried to take it out. And the cocoa powder, which is this special blend that nobody else has that makes it really, really good, just sort of sank to the bottom. And then it didn't disperse. It would kind of clump up, which is why people put additives and stabilizers and things in it in food in the first place. We avoid it, except for this. But people hated it. They hated it. They didn't. It wasn't our chocolate milk anymore. It clumped. It tasted funny, and so we had. I know we looked at committee looked at the studies and thought, you can go into a lot of these studies. Some of them are legit. Some are not. Some hint at there could be a problem, but there's not a provable problem. I asked the doctor. She looked at it and went, "Now, this is one small study on rats with a little bit, and then it was cranked up a lot." So probably isn't any it isn't a problem for human health. Now people can disagree about that, and that's fine. I mean, we try to keep everything, xanthan gum and all kinds of additives. We take all those out because we don't like them. So we actually have been looking at that issue, trying to figure out a different way to make sure. And we think one of our people thinks they have something else that will work for our cocoa, but it takes a long time to work it out, test it, and then see if it can be done consistently and see if it works consistently. So we're working on that. And honestly, probably I think the large amount of sugar is probably worse for you than the amount of carrageenan in our chocolate milk.
Well, I like that. I'm glad you're honest about that. I was curious though. I'm gonna try the chocolate milk out and see how it is. It looked good though. I ain't tried to that. I was curious, and so I do love chocolate milk. One thing I want to ask you, sir, and we can I guess we can end on this note, is to tell how Kalona got started and how they came up with super.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, so a lot of, as you know, a lot of small farms and small farmers, get run out of business by big corporations and the global economy, right? So we had a group of farmers in our community of Kalona that got together and said, well, how can we make sure we have a way to sell our milk? These are traditional farmers. They don't have the internet. They don't have the ability to sell their own milk. So they started a creamery. They got together and started a creamery. And then they didn't know how to make a brand or market it. And so one of their neighbors, a guy named Bill Evans, said, well, okay, I'll do that. So he came in and became the CEO, eventually the owner of the company, and then started marketing the Kalona brand, which at the time was Farmers All Natural Creamery. And it had a farm and a farmer on it, looked very organic label. But then there are regulations around the use of the word natural. So I wasn't here at the time, but I think the discussion was, well, if we can't have all natural, what else could we have? And so somehow it came up with supernatural, like it was very special. And we call it, the tagline is beyond organic, beyond delicious. And you'll see that in a lot of our Instagram and social media posts now. It's beyond organic because we meet the organic standards, we minimally process it, and it comes from small family farms that are regenerating the soil, the water, and the air. But that's how that got started. And honestly, most creameries like ours do not survive. They go under because they can sell milk, to the county stores in the counties around them, but they can't get it much farther. We survived because our team got really entrepreneurial. We started our own trucking company, so we wouldn't get held up by trucking companies. And this, when COVID happened, and a lot of trucking companies were having products sit because they couldn't get it on trucks. We had our own trucks. We have our own warehouse. We have our own little distributor. We started our branding and marketing company to support it. All these companies sort of insulate and support the small family farms. There's probably 65 or so that supply organic milk for Kalona SuperNatural that you see in stores.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I like to meet the owner, CEO. Maybe I can do an interview with him or whatever, and hear from his perspective. If you don't mind, if you can, somebody can get in contact with him. I like to interview for my YouTube channel, and I like to hear his side of the story and
Sure.
see the
I'll
process.
ask him. He likes to keep a low profile. It's really funny. Most owners, they're out front and they're type A personalities. And
Yeah, but see,
he's like, I'm an entrepreneur and I just do the work,
Yeah, but I understand. See, can you do it though? I won't have him. Yeah, because I tell him I want to do a long interview. I do like 15 minutes or less because the reason I want to interview him because it's that's courageous. I know it's not no easy work to get to where you're at, and I understand to keep the integrity of the company and what he's doing is commendable, and hopefully we can also people who do organics can find ways to navigate through the system in order to keep their business more upright and not take the shortcuts that you was telling about how to do the grains and stuff, not to take the shortcuts and maybe his learning may help other people to either to help do their products through him or either have something that's good to do for the company, because I know a lot of people, as you say, we talk maybe doing loopholes for the organic where they don't have to do that sacrifice. They may take another alternative route.
I tell you, it's hard. Any small business owner knows it's really hard to survive between government regulation and just competition from people that can throw millions of dollars at a problem. It's very, very difficult. And the Kalona SuperNatural brand has been, amazingly successful for a small company. We're part of the overall company is called Open Gates Group. You can go to opengatesgroup.com and see the other companies that have all supported and grown up to support the small family farms. And part of what we do is actually we help other food entrepreneurs develop their businesses. Now they may or may not be necessarily organic, but they're small. They're from just little towns in Iowa. They don't know how to make a label on a product, much less get it to market. And so we've taken our expertise developing Kalona SuperNatural into a national brand and are helping them develop their businesses. So Yeah, we talk a lot about milk and dairy and organic farms and stuff, but we do a lot of other things to help small rural communities and small entrepreneurs. So
Yeah, I
thanks for asking the
appreciate that.
question. Yeah, thanks for asking the
Yeah,
question.
yeah. Appreciate it that
Yeah,
that link just because I forget the link of that which so I can look it up. Please send me the link or email it to me so I can look it up and go look at
sure,
those things.
sure.
And I think it's important. I'm glad they are doing that. That's why I said if I can interview, I can get more in depth of what he got to offer. Maybe other people will find them or find their products and support it. Because I think um we need more products like that. We need to expand to the stores or whatever. And I think if enough people see the difference in the quality, that it may push more of a demand of what people really want and what people will
Yep.
buy.
We sure hope. Lots of small independent co-ops, independent natural food stores. They're the ones where they really feature us. DeKalb, the DeKalb market down in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia is real great about it. We're in Whole Foods and lots of other stores, lots of big chains too.
Yeah.
Hy-Vee, here up here, Central Market, HEB, Natural Grocers, Vitamin Cottage stores. We're lots of places, but really where we're embraced the most is these small independent co-ops where consumers know organic. They're even starting to look for regenerative products from regenerative farms. And they're looking for food that reflects their values. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
I know, like I said, I know super grocery stores or well natural super no grocery store that they
Mhm,
do
mhm.
support y'all a lot of y'all products. And Grainer is a small Grainer is a lot of places, they small business. It's family owned, but they have branched out pretty good,
Yep.
granary. So yeah, in certain areas, I don't know if they're in every state or not, but I know they did a good leap. So
They're
yeah.
not up here, but we know they're in Texas now. So we'll
Oh
keep.
yeah, Granary is in Texas. They got one in Longview and they have one, I think, in Tyler as well.
Mhm.
So we was fortunate to get mine just right across the street from me. And I could just walk there. So I was so happy and fortunate. I know the people are very friendly and they're very family oriented. I do know that I can tell you that about the people, and they have people in there who can help you and give you advice on some of the products. The one I
Yep.
work at, so that's very helpful. So the natural grocery foods, they got people specialized who can answer certain questions about certain items, which is very important. But you cannot go to a place like Walmart and get people who can say, "Hey, what does this product do? How does this product work?" You have people who kind of specialize in some of the things of what the vitamins and stuff may have and how they work that
Yep.
you don't
Yep.
get into regular big main stores, but you will get that in stores who specialize in those type of organic products and things of that nature. So people will notice that about a lot of these type of stores,
Yep. Yep. For sure. Yeah.
natural groceries. Yes.
Our customers come from all income levels, cultural backgrounds. One thing our last survey showed, it was a couple years ago, was just being just level of education, being educated, being and wanting to know more about products. If they're people who are thinking and investigating and they find us, they almost always become really great customers of ours. If they're just buying whatever flashy labels off the shelf, then they might go with somebody else. But as soon as they understand, they start to buy our organic dairy. So
Yeah. What I
well,
understand the quality.
we've been about 23 minutes
Yes,
here. You
sir.
try to go
And I
back
want to
10
thank you for
actually.
giving me
We're
the opportunity to talk. And I'm sorry for
yeah,
going over the time, but I thank you for the information you've given me. And I
yep.
thank you for tuning in. So y'all want to check my YouTube channel out. It's small. I think I like 20 subscribers now, but I'm trying to expand my channel. It ain't about drama. I just interview people about different stuff and different topics. But if you go to my LinkedIn tree under Andrew Love, the LinkedIn tree is still on the screen. You
Yep.
can go and see a few interviews, a couple of people, Trina McGee and some everyday people and normal people. So for anybody who want to interested, want me to interview, have something they want to talk about. I don't discriminate on what I interview about. As long as it's something that's is productive, whatever, I'll be happy to interview people on my channel, or
Sounds
whoever
great.
they see. So even you, Sam, whoever.
Yep, yep. Thank you. Yeah, I got my
Good.
own story. Everybody's got their own story, don't they?
Oh yeah,
So,
we can
yeah,
learn from
thank
them.
you.
Yes, and talk to the CEO for me if you don't mind, and
Okay.
I can talk to him. I can convince him to do 10 or 15 minutes interview with me. Won't hold his time up. And thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for what's up with the move to give me the opportunity to
Yep.
answer questions.
All right. Thanks, Andrew. We'll talk
Thank
again
y'all.
soon.
Yes,
All right.
thank y'all.
Bye.
Have a great day.